Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Unofficially Trini. I'm Dave, an American who's married to an amazing Trini gal. One of the things that I love about the people of Trinidad is all of the slang words that are used throughout daily communication. But I bet most Trinis aren't familiar with some of the American slang words that mean the exact same thing. So today, what I want to do is visit a few of these words and see how well versed you are. If you're an American who's watching this, you'll probably be as intrigued as I was when I first heard some of these words. So let's get started. First up is an oldie but a goodie. And in Trinidad, everybody uses this word, and that is dotish. I'm sure every Trinidadian knows what that means, but the first time I heard it, I had no idea what that meant. So Trinidadians would use that in a sentence like, stop acting so dotish. In America, we would use words like dimwit or numbskull or moron or meathead. Basically, it means foolish or stupid. Um, that's kind of how you would use that in a sentence. So, stop acting dotish. Dotish would mean, again, foolish or stupid, or like you're a numbskull, you're a dimwit, meathead, like your brain is full of meat, you have no brain. Um, so that's how that one's used. Kind of like that one. The next one I heard my brother-in-law say all the time, and when he said it, I had to ask a couple times, "What's he saying?" And that's to me, it's kind of simple, funny, but here's how it goes. Ent. So Trinidadians would say something like, as they're talking, they're looking um, for acknowledgement when you use the word ent. And how they would say it would be something like, that food's good, ent. So it kind of like in America, it's kind of a slang for almost like ain't it, or isn't it, or right. So in America, we really don't have a slang word for that. I guess you would just say right, like you're saying that food's good, right? So ent really, I guess it's just isn't it, but shorter. So we here we would really use, like, I guess if you're looking for slang, we would say slang terms. We wouldn't really use a word. We would say, like, here they use a lot of really weird slang, like they would say, "You feel me?" Like you're almost like you're looking for acknowledgement. You feel me? Like you feel what I'm saying? Um, or I've even heard some people say, "You picking up what I'm putting down?" Like that kind of slang. So it's a lot of really crazy stuff you hear over here, but that really ent is much shorter. It's a lot easier to say. Um, and when I'm home with my wife, sometimes I'll joke around. I'll say that all the time. Um, Next up, everybody has heard this, and I will tell you that it's probably spreading a little bit here in America because I've heard Americans say it sometimes, and that's lime or liming. Um, so Trinidadians would use that word something like, "We're gonna go bust a lime," or "We're gonna go he's lime. We're gonna go liming." They, the people, my friends are liming, and really that just means like they're hanging out or they're chilling. So in America, you would just say, "Hey, I'm going to go down to my friends and hang out," which is slang, like, you're really not hanging out, but that's what they say. Or chilling, we're just chilling. We're just chilling I'm chilling at my friend's house. So I like Lyman better. All right, the next one. Here's a funny one, and that's Maco. Trinidadians would say something like, "She went to the wedding just to Maco." So in America, Maco is a nosy person or a busybody. Um, we use slang phrases like, she'll have her ears flapping in a breeze. Same thing, like, Maco. So Maco, kind of a funny one. Um, the next one. Here's one that every time I hear it, I have to laugh because it almost sounds kind of, here's a slang word for you. It almost sounds gross, almost sounds disgusting, but it's kind of funny, and that's Trinidadians know this word as Yampy. Yampy. Yampy and yai. So Yampy is in America. We once again, here's one that we don't have a whole lot of slang for. I know when I was a kid, my grandparents would always tell me, "You have sleep in your eye." They just call it sleep. Yampy is like sleep. That I ain't even going to describe it. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, sleep in your eye. That little thing is in the corner there. So all right. So how about this one? Let's get off of that topic. How about goat mouth? You have a real goat mouth. So in America, um, we call that blabbermouth, or I think goat mouth is hilarious though. Goats are always eating, so goats always have their mouth, pop, 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 eating and moving. So that's why I'm guessing that that's probably where that comes from. Um, you ever notice like when something goes in a goat's mouth, it comes right back out? So I guess that's where goat mouth comes from. Um, I bet no Americans will know this one, but every Trinidadian knows it, and that's simple word Zaboka. Zaboka. I think I said it right. Zaboka. So Zaboka is in America, it's just an avocado, but every Trinidadian knows it as Zaboka. I think I said that right. So actually, it's a Spanish word, but that's what we know it as. Um, and you they make a lot of different things with it over here. I know in Trinidad they'll just slice it up and eat it with bread and different things like that. Here, one of the Mexican foods that they make is guacamole, and that's probably the biggest thing that it's used for over here. We go through a lot of zaboka, but really it's just it's used for like guacamole and stuff like that. You'll see it on Mexican in a lot of Mexican foods. So, all right. Well, I hope this little exercise brought us a little bit closer and everybody had a good laugh at some of the slang words that we use. So, drop a comment if you have a good slang word that you want me to get out. Let's keep it family friendly, though. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment to Unofficially Trini. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.